The Jumpmaster will turn and face his jumper and issue the command, open your ripcord protector flap.
Open your ripcord protector flap.
He'll then place both hands on the extreme right side of the advanced combat helmet, all fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing the jumper, fingertips pointing skyward. The left hand is a control hand. The right hand is a working hand. With the working hand, the Jumpmaster will trace across the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet, feeling for any sharp or protruding edges that may cut or damage the jumper's universal static line upon exiting the aircraft. Once the hands are parallel, place the thumbs on the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet and gently tilt the jumper's head to the rear. Now conduct a visual inspection of the 3 suspension pads to ensure they are present, are flush with the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet, and the oval pads are covering the bolt ends. Now with the right hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed, and place it on the front left adjustable buckle. Ensure it is free of all cracked components and is serviceable, and that the front left adjustable strap is properly routed through the front left adjustable buckle and the free running end secured in its webbing retainer. Now trace down the front left adjustable strap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed till you make contact with the chin strap fastener. Conduct a visual inspection to ensure it is properly secured and free of all cracked components. Now bypass the chin strap fastener and pick up your inspection of the long portion chin strap routed underneath the jumper's chin, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed until you make contact to where it is sewn to the front right adjustable strap. Trace up the front right adjustable strap, ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed till you make contact with the front right adjustable buckle. Once again, you're ensuring it's free of all cracked components, is serviceable, and that the front right adjustable strap is properly routed through the front right adjustable buckle and the free running end secured in its webbing retainer. Now place your index finger of your right hand on the right side of the short portion chin strap and trace across the top of the jumper's chin, ensuring it's not excessively cut, torn, or frayed. Now drop both hands. Always start the canopy release assembly opposite the universal static line. Since the universal static line is routed over the jumper's right shoulder, we'll begin with the inspection with the jumper's left canopy release assembly. Look at the left canopy release assembly. Tap it with the knuckles of the right hand one time to ensure it sounds solid. Jumpers, this is your key to place your hands on top of your advanced combat helmet. With your right hand, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert it from outside to inside behind the left main lift web in vicinity of the chest strap. Trace up the left main lift web until your index finger makes contact with the canopy release assembly pad. Now place your thumb on the outside corner of the canopy release assembly and rotate it a quarter turn to the outside. Now with your head and eyes approximately 6 to 8 inches away, conduct a visual inspection to ensure that the male fitting canopy release assembly is properly secured by the female fitting canopy release assembly and is properly secured by the latch. Furthermore, ensure that the cable loop is properly secured by the safety clip and is free of all foreign material or dirt which would impede it from seating completely. Once satisfied, allow the canopy release assembly to rotate back to its normal position. As you can see, the universal static line is routed over the jumper's right shoulder, therefore it impedes your inspection. With your left hand, grasp the universal static line and rotate it over to your right hand and hold it in place with your right thumb. Keep your right hand and thumb in place and look at the right canopy release assembly. With the knuckles of the left hand, tap it one time to ensure it sounds solid. With your left hand, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert it from outside to inside behind the right main lift web in vicinity of the chest strap ejector snap. Now trace up that right main lift web until your index finger of your left hand makes contact with the canopy release assembly pad. Place your thumb of your left hand on the outside corner of the canopy release assembly and rotate it a quarter turn to the outside. Now with your head and eyes approximately 6 to 8 inches away, conduct the same inspection. Now with both hands, simultaneously trace down the main lift web until your hands come in contact with the D-rings. Now look at the chest strap to ensure it has not been misrouted around the left main lift web. Remove your right hand. Form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, with your right hand, and insert it from bottom to top behind the chest strap as close to where it is sewn to the left main lift web. Now trace forward on the chest strap, ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed, and the free running end secured in its webbing retainer until you make contact with the quit bit V-ring. Bypass the quit bit V-ring and pick up your inspection of the chest strap ejector snap, ensuring that the chest strap ejector snap pad does not come between your hand and the chest strap ejector snap. Once your right hand is as far as it can go, Take the thumb of your right hand and press down on the activating lever of the chest strap ejector snap to ensure it is properly seated over the ball D10s and free of all foreign material which would impede it from seating completely. Leave your right hand and thumb in place. Now remove your left hand, and with your left hand form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert it from bottom to top behind the waistband as close to where it is sewn to the pack tray. Look to where the waistband is sewn to the pack tray. Ensure at least 50% of one row of stitching is present. Now trace forward on the waistband, ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed, or have been misrouted behind the horizontal backstrap until your pinky finger makes contact with the D-ring. Now look at the waistband and ensure it is properly routed above the right main lift web and below the right D-ring. Now remove your right hand and with your right hand grasp the top carrying handle of the reserve parachute, knuckles skyward, palm facing towards reserve. Now simultaneously pull up and out while placing your left hand in the center of the jumper's chest, all fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing the jumper. Now conduct a visual inspection of the waistband to ensure it is properly routed through both waistband retainers and it is not twisted, cut, or frayed. Now remove your left hand and insert your left hand into the left carrying handle of the reserve parachute, fingers spread, palm facing away from the reserve. Now remove your right hand and with your right hand form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert your right hand from bottom to top behind the waistband as close to the D-ring as possible. Now look at the waistband and ensure it is properly routed above the left main lift web and below the left D-ring. Trace forward on the waistband, ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed until you make contact with the metal adjuster. Now remove your left hand. With your left hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger and middle finger exposed. Now insert your left hand from top to bottom in the quick release formed by the waistband. You're ensuring it's no more than 3 fingers, no less than 2 fingers, and it's not a false quick release. Now remove your index finger and middle finger of your left hand. And with your index finger and thumb of your left hand, pinch off the free running end of the waistband to where it re-emerges from the metal adjuster. And trace it till your fingers fall off the end. You're ensuring it's not excessively cut, torn, or frayed, and is easily accessible to the jumper. Now reinsert your left hand into the left carrying handle of the reserve parachute, fingers spread, palm facing away from the reserve. Now focus your attention to your right hand. Trace back on the waistband adjuster panel, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed, or have been misrouted behind the horizontal backstrap. Now look to where the waistband adjuster panel is sewn to the pack tray. Ensure at least 50% of one row of stitching is present. Now drop both hands and move to the front of your jumper. With your left hand, grasp the top carrying handle of the reserve parachute, knuckles skyward, palm facing towards reserve. Simultaneously pull up and out. Now look at the left connector snap. With your right hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed and fingering the opening gate one time to ensure it has spring tension, has not been safetied, and is properly attached to the left D-ring. Now, with your right hand, grasp the top carrying handle of the reserve parachute, knuckles skyward, palm facing towards reserve. Simultaneously pull up and out. Now look at the right connector snap. With the left hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed, and fingering the opening gate one time to ensure it does not have spring tension and has been safetied and is properly attached to the D-ring. Now, you will inspect the safety wire and lanyard utilizing the letters PLF, pull, look, and feel. With the index finger of the left hand, form a hook around the lanyard portion of the safety wire and lanyard, and pull to ensure it is properly attached to the reinforced nylon webbing on the rear of the reserve parachute and around the coil portion of the safety wire. Look to ensure that the lanyard portion is constructed of type 2 or type 3 nylon cord gutted and that the safety wire is properly routed through the small drilled hole of the right connector snap. Now remove your index finger of your left hand and with your index finger of your left hand reach on the inside of the right connector snap and feel that the safety wire is bent down at a 90-degree angle and it is properly routed in between the reserve parachute and the waistband, not the waistband and the jumper's body. Now leave your left index finger in place and with your right hand grasp the left end panel. Now with your left hand form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, fingertips pointing downward, and sweep one time behind the ripcord grip to ensure that the top left and top right pack opening spring bands have not been misrouted over the ripcord grip. Now with your left hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger in place, and insert it from top to bottom between the ripcord grip retainer to ensure the ripcord grip is properly routed through the ripcord grip retainer and the top panel, not the ripcord grip retainer and the pile tape. Now remove your left hand and with your index finger of your left hand place it on the right steel swage ball. You're ensuring it is free of all crack components and is flush with the ripcord grip. Now remove your index finger and with your index finger and thumb of your left hand pinch off the cable to where it re-emerges from the ripcord grip. Trace down the cable ensuring it's not kinked or frayed until you make contact with the locking pin. Continue tracing down the locking pin ensuring it's not bent, cracked, or corroded until your fingertips are on the end. Now conduct a visual inspection of the red saw flute to ensure it's not cut, frayed, or burned or twisted and that the locking pin is not puncturing in any manner and completely routed through it. Now leave your left index finger and thumb in place and with your index finger of your right hand conduct the same inspection on the right steel swage ball, cable, locking pin, and red saw flute. Now place either hand on an end panel. With the index finger and thumb of the other hand, pinch off the ripcord protector flap and conduct a visual and physical inspection of the Army Parachute log record to ensure that there is an Army Parachute log record located in the Army Parachute log record stow pocket in the ripcord protector flap. Once satisfied, close the ripcord protector flap. Now conduct a visual inspection only on the 1/4 inch yellow binding tape to ensure it is present and permanently stitched to the top of the ripcord protector flap. Now with the same hand which closed the ripcord protector flap, feel for the bulge created by the deployment assistance device to ensure it is present and properly situated behind the ripcord protector flap. Now remove your left hand and with your left hand form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you the Jumpmaster, and sweep the top carrying handle and the universal static line snap hook back towards the jumper's body, leaving the reinforced nylon webbing on the rear of the reserve parachute exposed. We will inspect the pack opening spring bands for proper routing, exposed metal, and spring tension. We will begin with the top right pack opening spring band. We will utilize the index finger and thumb of the right hand. With the index finger and thumb of the right hand, pinch off the tab portion of the top right pack opening spring band and pull it down towards the ripcord protector flap and hold it. Conduct a visual inspection to ensure the top right pack opening spring band is properly routed through the reinforced nylon webbing of the rear of the reserve parachute underneath the top carrying handle has no exposed metal. Release it, it should pop back into place. Now conduct the same inspection on the top left pack opening spring band. Now remove your left hand and with your left hand form that knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended to join, palm facing you the Jumpmaster. Now with your left hand, sweep the left carrying handle back towards the jumper's body, leaving the reinforced nylon webbing on the rear of the reserve parachute exposed, and inspect the left pack opening spring band. Now remove the left hand and with the left hand placing them on the bottom right corner of the reserve parachute, thumb on the reinforced nylon webbing on the rear of the reserve parachute, fingers pointing towards the ripcord protector flap, and mirror the same image on the other side with your right hand. And gently lift up on the reserve parachute and hold it parallel to the marching surface and seeing the waistband routed behind the reserve parachute on a Hollywood rig jumper in this position. Now with the index finger and thumb of the right hand, conduct the same inspection on the bottom left and bottom right pack opening spring bands. Now remove your left hand and allow the reserve parachute to fall back to its normal position. Now with the left hand, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you the Jumpmaster, and sweep the lanyard portion of the safety wire and lanyard back towards the jumper's body, leaving the reinforced nylon webbing on the rear of the reserve parachute exposed. And with the index finger and thumb of the right hand, pinch off the right pack opening spring band and conduct the same inspection. Now, an overall inspection of the reserve parachute must be inspected to ensure it's free of all exposed canopy, oil, grease, mud, dirt, and tears. Now, with both hands, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, and place them on the top right corner of the reserve parachute, ensuring not to cover up the seams. Left hand's the control hand. Right hand's the working hand. With the head and eyes approximately 6 to 8 inches away, with the working hand, trace the top panel of the reserve parachute. Trace down the left end panel of the reserve parachute. Once your working hand makes contact with the bottom portion of the left end panel of the reserve parachute, rotate your left hand down to the bottom right corner of the reserve parachute and place your thumb on the reinforced nylon webbing of the rear of the reserve parachute with your fingertips pointing towards the ripcord protector flap. Mirror it with your working hand as well, and gently lift up on the reserve parachute to where it's parallel to the marching surface. Once again, on a Hollywood rig jumper, you will see the waistband to where it is routed behind the reserve parachute. Now, with the working hand, trace the bottom panel of the reserve parachute, ensuring your index finger leads the way. Lift your control hand out of the way and place it on the top right corner of the reserve parachute. Remove your working hand and allow the reserve parachute to fall back to its normal position. Now place your working hand where you've just had it, ensuring your pinky finger leads the way. Now, with your head and eyes approximately 4 to 6 inches away, trace up the right hand panel, ensuring your pinky finger leads the way. Once your working hand makes contact with your control hand, lift your control hand out of the way and sweep with your working hand where your control hand just was. Now, with both hands, grasp the bottom corners of the reserve parachute, hold it up to the jumper, and issue the command of hold squat.
Hold squat.
With both hands, form a fist, leaving your index finger and middle finger exposed. Insert it from outside to inside behind the leg straps right below the aviator's kit bag, where the natural pocket is formed. Simultaneously trace rearward, ensuring the leg straps not cross till you make contact with the saddle. Leave your right hand in place. With your left hand, trace up the right leg strap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed, and excess webbing is properly secured in its webbing retainer till you make contact with the quit bit V-ring. Once you have skin to metal contact with the thumb of the left hand, press down on the activating lever to ensure it's properly seated over the ball detents and free of all foreign material which would impede it from seating completely. Leave your left hand and thumb in place. Now focus your attention to your right hand and left leg strap. Trace up the left leg strap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed, and the excess webbing is secured in its webbing retainer. And the left leg strap is properly routed through the exposed handle of the aviator's kit bag, over the bottom and under the top. Once you have skin to metal contact with utilizing either your thumb or index finger, press down on the activating lever of the left leg strap ejector snap to ensure it is properly seated over the ball detents and free of all foreign material or dirt which would impede it from seating completely. Leave both hands and thumbs or index finger in place and rock back on your heels. Conduct an overall inspection of the aviator's kit bag to ensure it is present, has not been reversed, and the reinforced sewn stitching is facing away from the jumper's body. Once satisfied with this inspection, drop both hands and stand up in front of your jumper. Hollywood rig jumpers will automatically recover. With your right hand, reach across your body and grasp the universal static line snap hook and give it a sharp tug to ensure it's properly attached to the top carrying handle of the reserve parachute. Now open up your right hand and allow for the universal static line snap hook to rest in the palm of your right hand. Now with your left hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed, and place it on the girth hitch of the universal static line to ensure it has not been reversed and the green ID marking stitching is present. Now either trace down or tap in vicinity of the rivet pin to ensure it is present, free of all rust, and properly secured. Now drop your left hand. With your right hand, re-grasp the universal static line snap hook to where it is perpendicular to the reserve parachute and the spring opening gate is facing towards the jumper's body. Now with your left hand, grasp the universal static line on the double stitch portion, thumb down, knuckles skyward, and rotate it 90 degrees to the jumper's right. Now push the universal static line towards the universal static line snap hook and inspect the girth hitch for the first time. You're ensuring it's not cut, frayed, or burned. Now with your thumb or index finger, one or the other, never both, press in on the girth hitch and push it towards the universal static line snap hook, inspecting the girth hitch for the second time. Once again, you're ensuring it's free of all cuts, burns, or frays. Now with the left hand, redress the girth hitch of the universal static line around the narrow portion of the universal static line snap hook and then drop your left hand. As you can see, the universal static line is routed over the jumper's right shoulder. Therefore, we will utilize our right hand. With your index finger and thumb of your right hand form an O just above the universal static line snap hook, you should still see metal. Now with your right hand, raise it as high as you can go, simultaneously inspecting your universal static line as it passes through your O. Once you have tension with that first stow, issue the jumper the command of turn. Simultaneously inspect the universal static line as it passes through your O. Now with the index finger or middle finger of your other hand, insert it from outside to inside behind the universal static line right below your O. You should have skin-to-skin contact. Now, with your working hand, trace down the universal static line, ensuring it's not cut, frayed, or burned, or been misrouted through either riser assembly, until you make contact with that first stow. Now with both hands, form a bite with the universal static line. Now look at the static line cycle retainer. It cannot be cut, torn, or frayed more than 50%. If it is, it renders the parachute unserviceable and it must be turned in. Now insert the bite of the universal static line through the static line cycle retainer and pull all slack through. Now take the bite of the universal static line and place it on the top pack closing flap, and with either hand hold it in place. This becomes your control hand. Now with the index finger and thumb of the right hand, pinch off the first stow of the universal static line and pull it 1 to 2 inches towards the center of the pack tray. You're ensuring that the universal static line has not been cut, torn, or frayed, or been misrouted around the inner static line stow bar. Once satisfied, release it. It'll pop back into place. With your index finger of your working hand, insert it from bottom to top behind the universal static line and get as close to the first stow as possible. Now continue your inspection, ensuring that the universal static line is not cut, frayed, or burned till you make contact with the second stow. Now once again, with your index finger or thumb, pinch off the second stow and pull it 1 to 2 inches towards the center of the pack tray. You're ensuring the universal static line is not cut, frayed, or burned, or be misrouted around the inner static line stow bar. Release it, it'll pop back into place. Now with your index finger or thumb, insert it from bottom to top and get as close to the second stow as possible and trace to the third stow, ensuring the universal static line is not cut, frayed, or burned. Continue this process, ensuring that when tracing away from you, you can utilize your thumb or index finger. When tracing towards you, it's index finger and index finger only. And the last strand of the universal static line must always be routed from the right outer static line stow bar and inspected with the index finger and the index finger only. Once you make contact with the pack opening loop, conduct a visual inspection and ensure it is properly situated between the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock pack closing loops. Now with the index finger of the working hand, insert from bottom to top in the pack opening loop and pull it down and out and hold it. Conduct a visual inspection to ensure it's not cut, frayed, or burned at all, and that the pack closing tie is properly routed through it. Allow it to pop off your finger. Place your index finger on the 6 o'clock pack closing loop. You're ensuring it's not cut, frayed, or burned more than 50% and that the pack closing tie is completely routed through it. Now continue your inspection in a clockwise motion, going from the 6 to the 9 to the 12 to the 3. And any time during your inspection the universal static line gets in your way, Utilize your index finger to lift it from bottom to top, up and out of the way, and place your index finger on the next pack closing loop. Now conduct a visual inspection of the surges knot locking knot on the pack closing tie. Ensure it is properly situated in between the 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock pack closing loops. Now with the index finger of the working hand, insert it from bottom to top behind the surges knot locking knot of the pack closing tie, pull it down and out and hold it. You're ensuring that the pack closing tie is constructed of 1 turn and 1 turn only of 1/4 inch cotton webbing, and it is secured by a proper surges knot locking knot. Once satisfied, allow it to pop off your finger. Now with both hands, place them on the extreme left side of the advanced combat helmet. All fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing the jumper, fingertips pointing skyward. The left hand is the control hand. The right hand is the working hand. With the working hand, the Jumpmaster will trace across the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet, feeling for any sharp or protruding edges that may cut or damage the jumper's universal static line upon exiting the aircraft. Once the hands are parallel, place the thumbs on the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet and gently tilt the jumper's head forward. Conduct a visual inspection of the 3 suspension pads to ensure that they are present. The oval pads are flush with the outer rim of the advanced combat helmet and covering the bolt ends, and the rear trapezoid pad is either flush or slightly protruding, no more than 1/2 inch. Now with the right hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed, and place it on the rear right adjustable buckle. Conduct a visual inspection to ensure it is free of all cracked components and is serviceable, and the rear right adjustable strap is properly routed through the rear right adjustable buckle, and its free running end is secured in its webbing retainer. Now trace down the rear right adjustable strap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed until you come in contact with the long portion chin strap. Now leave your right hand in place. With your left hand, form a fist, leaving your index finger exposed, and place it on the rear left adjustable buckle, and conduct the same inspection until you make contact with the chin strap fastener. Now conduct a visual inspection of the NAPE pad to ensure that it is present, has not been reversed, and it is serviceable. Now with both hands, reach across the jumper's shoulders and grasp a riser assembly in each hand, thumb down, knuckles skyward. These are like items of equipment. Either one can be inspected first. However, for the purposes talked through, we'll begin with the left riser assembly, since the universal static line is routed over the jumper's right shoulder. So focus your attention to your left hand and left riser assembly. Give a sharp tug upward, form a distinguishable L, apply upward pressure, and trace rearward until you make contact with the pack tray. Leave the left hand in place. Now focus your attention to your right hand and right riser assembly. With your right hand, give a sharp tug upward, form a distinguishable L, apply upward pressure, and trace rearward. You're ensuring neither riser assembly has been twisted, cut, or frayed, and there's an Army parachute log record located in either riser assembly. Now, an overall inspection of the main parachute must be conducted to ensure it's free of all oil, grease, mud, dirt, and tears. With both hands, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, and place them on the top left corner of the main pack tray. Left hand's the control hand. Right hand's the working hand. With your head and eyes approximately 6 to 8 inches away, trace the top pack closing flap with the working hand. Trace down the right pack closing flap with the working hand. Squat down so you can see what you're doing, and trace the bottom pack closing flap, ensuring the pinky finger leads away. Now flip your working hand over, ensure your pinky finger leads away, and trace up the left pack closing flap. Once your working hand makes contact with your control hand, lift your control hand out of the way and sweep with your working hand where your control hand just was. Now form knife cutting edges, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and issue the jumper the command of arch your back.
Arch your back.
Now insert your hands from outside to inside behind the diagonal back straps, right below where the natural X is formed by the diagonal back straps. Now conduct a visual inspection of the diagonal back straps. Ensure the appropriate diagonal backstrap is properly routed over the appropriate shoulder, and the top diagonal backstrap has one more additional row of exposed stitching than the bottom diagonal backstrap. Now conduct a visual inspection to ensure the diagonal backstrap retainers are properly routed through the appropriate sizing channel. The diagonal backstrap retainers are furthermore routed under and over the diagonal backstrap keepers and secured by the pull-it-out fasteners. To doubly ensure that the pull-it-out fasteners are secured, simultaneously with both thumbs, pluck up on the tab portion of the diagonal backstrap retainers. Now focus your attention to your left hand and left diagonal backstrap. Trace down the left diagonal backstrap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, torn, or frayed until you make contact with the backstrap adjuster. Now grasp the backstrap adjuster. Your hand will stay here for the duration of the inspection until you seal the jumper with the command to recover and the seal of approval. Now focus your attention to your right hand and right diagonal backstrap. Now trace down the right diagonal backstrap, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed. Bypass the backstrap adjuster and pick up your inspection of the horizontal backstrap. You're ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed, and the excess webbing is properly secured in its webbing retainer until you make contact with the right main lift web. Now with your right hand, form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert it from bottom to top behind the horizontal backstrap where it reemerges from the right main lift web. Once your index finger makes contact with the right main lift web, issue the jumper the command of bend.
Bend.
Simultaneously, with your left shoulder, place it in the bottom pack closing flap and pull down with your left hand on the backstrap adjuster. Now pick up the inspection of the horizontal backstrap to ensure it is not twisted, cut, torn, or frayed, and that the horizontal backstrap retainers are properly routed over the horizontal backstrap, under and over the horizontal backstrap keepers, and secured by the pull-it-out fasteners. Once your pinky finger makes contact with the left main lift web, remove your right hand, and with your right hand form a knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing you, the Jumpmaster, and insert it from top to bottom or bottom to top to where the horizontal backstrap reemerges from the left main lift web. Now pick up your inspection of the horizontal backstrap, ensuring it is not twisted, cut, or frayed until you have skin-to-skin contact. Now remove your right hand and get left hip to left side of your jumper's head. And with your right hand, form that knife cutting edge, fingers and thumbs extended and joined, palm facing your jumper, fingertips pointing direction of inspection, and place it on the single X-box stitch right below the triangle link. And pick up your inspection of the saddle. Continue tracing the saddle, ensuring it's not twisted, cut, or frayed, been inverted, or either leg strap has been misrouted over it until you make contact with the other single X-box stitch below the triangle link. Now reach back and get a handful of Jumpmaster air and issue that jumper the command to recover with the seal of approval.
Recover.